What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Roxette. And we're going back to Crash Boom Bang, 1994. The next tune is Sleeping in My Car. It's a title I feel like it could relate to more external problems or maybe internal deliberations or ruminations. Ultimately, you sleep in your car when you have nowhere else to sleep or when home doesn't feel like home and you need another place to either carve out a niche while maybe processes out of your control play out, or maybe while you just gather your emotions and thoughts and, you know, focus and figure out what the next step is. But yeah, ultimately, I think most commonly it's used to refer to people who literally don't have a place to rent or to live in anymore, and, you know, the car becomes their place of residence, you know, in lieu of something better. So in that case, you know, we're talking economic difficulties, we're talking a hard part of someone's personal life, and, you know, there's always the question of, you know, once you get into something like that, how easy is it to get back out? So that would be a heavier, grittier sort of tune. If you're sleeping in your car because, again, you feel like you need some alternative space to figure things out or to, you know, run through your situation, then maybe it's not quite so dire, or at the very least there's a possibility that it's serving as like a therapeutic refuge, if you will. So yeah, I'm intrigued by the title, but I see, you know, two notably different paths, and given the way these things work, it'll surely not be either of those paths specifically. So let's hear it. This is Roxette. The track is Sleeping in My Car, and it's from the 1994 album, Crash Boom Bang. I like the guitars. Taking a curve. I think I missed the meaning of this one. Ooh. See, I was thinking she was sleeping in the car alone. Turns out that's not the case. Their songs are just like lush. Looking up through a sunroof. A moonroof, I guess. Those are technically different things, but depending on the car you have, that can be more or less comfortable. blank berries of lines she's already done. Amazing. I agree, that was funny. But yeah, ultimately, I actually thought it was just about to get to that moment before we got one more around with some of Marie's vocals, and indeed, I shouldn't be surprised, but in that moment I wasn't expecting it, and then again, it's like, she'll do a line that she's hit a certain way 2 or 3 times in the track, but when we get to the final version, she'll give it a little more flair, she'll give it a little variation that, like, it's what you know, but now it's new again. So I love the way they compose the tunes and the way she, like, vocally evolves over the course of the tune. Again, often having some of the most, some of the biggest flourishes on the back end. And yeah, as I said up front, I'm thinking about it sleeping in your car by yourself, reasons you might do that. And, both possibilities I thought of were more problematic, at least pensive, if not like outright, you're in a bad situation. But it was completely the opposite. It was, you're in a good way with another person, maybe you've been out on the road, maybe you're traveling together, and, instead of finding a motel, maybe you just, go into the back seat, have a good time, spend the rest of the early morning / night, looking up at the stars. I was thinking like sunroof, and I was like, oh, a moonroof, because it's night out. But that's technically, like, a moonroof I think is the kind that opens, it like tilts so you can get air coming in, but it doesn't fully retract, whereas a sunroof is the fully retractable, where you could like stand up outside of it, and you can therefore like see more. Either way, yeah, it felt like a much more positive and passionate experience. And indeed, I mean, she's talking about like the physical act of it, not just the idea that like we're so in love together in the back of the car. It's like, it's the actual passion of it, which, like, again, some of the way she hits the lines, especially at the end, it's like you could argue that it's a full articulation of the emotion of the song, the physical passion of the song. So a cool tune and a happy, unexpected twist, given what the title said to me, which, I don't know, I suppose I listened to a lot of punk rock over time, and, punk rock will talk about, like, gritty socioeconomic issues and whatever, so I see that title, and my brain goes that direction. Although I suppose to say, if this was, like, a Depeche Mode song by that name, I'd be like, oh, okay, so there's gonna be, like, there's some sex involved, certainly. So I guess it depends on like what I'm following. And even though I've now gone through multiple Roxette albums, yeah, that one took me a bit by surprise. So either way, cool track. Really enjoyed the lush sonics. Again, I mentioned, like, there's a number of groups that I go through where some of their songs could be under the banner synth rock, where it's like, it's got electronic work, it's got keyboards, but it also has guitars. Their tunes in that sort of grouping of like musical deep dives that I'm doing, they have some of the lushest tunes. They just feel like full and rich, and it's the guitar, it's obviously Marie's singing, but I think the composition, which I know Para is like, I think primarily doing most of that, right? So yeah, it's like the arrangement and composition of their tunes, I think, is a testament to their quality, even though like some of their tracks have an immediate, like, catchy, like, oh, you can see this being a hit on the radio, but there's, like, depth to it, too, is I guess what I'm saying. In any case, I tend to babble after I hear a really good tune, and I feel like I'm doing that now, so I'll cut myself off, but shout out to all the Roxette fans out there, the Roxers. I am very much appreciative of all the insight you've given me. I still feel bad, like, the first, what was it, like, 15 reactions or something I did, I was saying Mary instead of Marie. I'll go to my grave regretting that, but hey, eventually I caught on. I do appreciate, I think it was Roxer for Life who brought that to my attention. But yeah, either way, looking forward to the remainder of the album. Let me see what song is next, since I do have the folder open. Vulnerable. So that sounds a bit more, a bit more potentially problematic emotionally, or at least, you're in a situation where you fear harm. So I'll be keen to think about that and to check it out the next time we come around. I did want to mention also, I know this time it wasn't synced with the Marie solo reactions. I know I did that a couple days ago, but generally speaking, going forward, I'm going to keep trying to do those as much in tandem, if not, specifically on the same day as possible. And at some point, we'll get to the other other pathways in the larger like Roxette extended universe. So I appreciate the patience. Looking forward to more. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.